When I sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office, in front of the fireplace across from my desk, I have two busts.
Bro, what did you just say?
One of Dr. King, one of Bobby Kennedy. I often find myself looking at those busts, making decisions.
What the
Sunday morning, because if we were in church, perhaps it would be this reflection. It would be a reflection about resurrection and redemption. Remember, Jesus was buried on Friday.
Yo, I'm like that local rapper that keep pulling up on you when you pull up to the gas station like, yo, check out my content, check out my stuff. All right, anyway. All right, for real though, if you enjoy the content over here, hit that like button, drop in with a comment, hit that subscribe button, road to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in effect. All right, and that being said, let's get to the story. We got Joe Biden here, recently gave his commencement speech. He was called into Morehouse College, of all places, a predominantly black, all-male college that called in Joe Biden for some reason. I don't understand why. I guess it's an election year, and he's on his pandering tour, and we'll see in a little bit. But shout out to these gentlemen right here, these future scholars. You know, all of the gentlemen that were in the graduating ceremony, and especially shout out to these two brothers here that, you know, were able to protest, but respectfully. Okay, I see a lot of these colleges, especially right now, protests and riots are a completely different story.
Can the kids? I guess you're all you can argue. This is what you're going to do. Some water. This is what my eyes.
Now, I believe he purposely went to Morehouse College because this is an all-black men's institution, because he sees what's happening in the voting polls. All right, he has the black women, but the black men and the black young men are not interested in Joe Biden statistically. Okay, not as interested as the black women who vote Democrat at a far higher number than the black men. But let's see what he has to say about it and the strife of being a black man in America, because you know that every election season, they're going to come around and try to reinstill fear in us and tell us that we don't have the same opportunities and we can't do the same thing as everybody else because we're black. The same bullshit, which is probably why these gentlemen decided to turn their back on President Biden.
Today, you missed your high school graduation. You started college just as George Floyd was, and there was a reckoning on race. It's natural to wonder if democracy you hear about actually works for you. What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? The trail of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot. And most of all, what does it mean, as we've heard before, to be a black man who loves his country, even if it doesn't love him back in equal measure?
Thank you so much, Papa Biden, for telling me what it's like to be a black man in America. Thank you so much for telling me about the black experience. Thank you. I appreciate it. Because if you were not able to put it so eloquently and articulate it so well, me being the black man that you think I am, I probably wouldn't have even been able to say anything more than ooh, ah. Like, what are we talking about, yo? Now we're being killed in the streets. Who is killing black men in the streets? Let's be honest here. Is it police? Is it white supremacists? Or is it other black men? Let's be honest, because we're talking about a very small portion of society. I'm glad to see young black men waking up, and I hope that it shows out in the polls in November and moving forward in all elections, whether it be on a local level, a state, a national level, whatever. Just getting more involved in what's going on so that there can be some sort of change. Instead of there being progress, and then every 4 years or every election season, these Democrats come around and tell us, all the progress that we've been making, no, that's not really happening. And you really need us. So you need to come back to Massa, come back to the plantation so that we can provide for you, because you can't provide for yourself.
And you ain't black. I mean it.
All these people are clapping for President Biden after he just finished his speech. Never mind, this is the same man that said this.
Found out that this midnight basketball isn't getting them together, a bunch of jive folks living in their city to do, try to see if they can be Michael Jordan. When they found out, they were keeping schools open. So gangs come off streets instead of out raping my mother, marauding me, robbing the local store. They're in a gymnasium. And my daughter will be safer, my wife will be safer, my mother will be safer, and I will be safer. And I will be happy.
So all that stuff is right for him to say about black people, black men. The same ones that were just clapping for him, the alumni, and now these young men. That's what he thinks of you. That's what he's always thought about you. Don't let the media and all this wokeism fool you. That's who Joe Biden's always been, and it's recorded. There is actual evidence out there of all that, but I'm probably preaching to the choir with this. But shout out to these young men taking a stand, you know what I'm saying? But respectfully doing it, protesting respectfully, which I can get on board with. Like I said, they could have been making a big deal, a lot more disruptive. They allowed President Biden to get through his speech, and they just peacefully protested. I'm with that 100%.
And you ain't black.
President Biden continues his pandering tour, traveling from Atlanta, Georgia at Morehouse College to go to Detroit, Michigan to the NAACP dinner where he gave a speech. You know, pandering, going to all the hot spots, going to all the major black spots where he believes that a lot of the slaves are still on the plantation. Now, I hope that the polls and all that are right, and that at least a lot of the younger black Americans are starting to at least open up the dialogue and conversation for his opponent come November, but we'll see. Biden tells NAACP dinner Trump is out for revenge, not to lead country. All right, so they're already planting the seeds, and that's the way that they try to. That's always the tactic when it comes to black people. Okay, we're going to get them emotionally charged. We're going to make them scared. Like his whole Morehouse speech, what was he doing? He was trying to get black people emotionally charged. Same thing, he goes here to the NAACP dinner. I hope y'all see it. I really do. If you're still here, I appreciate you for real. And to help get this video out to more people, I would appreciate it very much if you subscribe to the channel, drop a like, join in on the conversation with a comment. What do you think about all of this? Do you think that these men were, hey man, they were peaceful, they protested, it was done respectfully? More power to you, brothers. I hope that more brothers, even in this same ceremony, feel this way. Maybe they didn't protest the same way, but that they feel this way. Doesn't mean that the seed for, black people thinking this way, black men thinking this way, that, it's finally turning, and that, hey, if you're paying attention to the polls, a lot of younger black men are opting out of the liberal ideologies, the progressive ideologies and all that. They're moving more towards being conservatives. Or do you think this was completely disrespectful to President Joe Biden? He takes time out of his day to come to your college to give a commencement speech, to congratulate you and wish you out into the future. This is the 46th president of the United States, and you completely disrespect him like this, and he's getting ready to be reelected to serve another 4 years. And how disrespectful of you.
And you ain't black.
Without any more, let me get to my final clip. This is the late, great Robin Williams. Rest in heaven, sir.
We still have comedy, though. We still have great comedy out there. There's always rambling Joe Biden. What the fuck? Joe says shit that even people with Tourette's go, no. No. What is going on? Joe is like your uncle who's on a new drug and hasn't got the dosage right. I'm proud to work with Barack America. He's not a superhero, you idiot. Come here. When FDR was on television, there was no TV back then. Come here, Joe. Sit down.
Trump 2024. Stay wavy.